30 seconds and counting.
Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. It's Anish. I'm joined by Roman and Drew. And today we're going to be talking about the Texans, who just beat the Chargers 41-29. An absolute shocker. No one was expecting the Chargers to lose to the Texans at all. And so, yeah, we stunned a lot of people. And I would say go as far as to saying that this was the best win of the season for us. And the Texans, Davis Mills' best win of the season for him, because it was like a win, obviously, and best game of the season for him at least. He made so many quality throws. He looked very poised out there as per usual. And he had 2 touchdowns, 21-27, 254 yards. And the best part of this win is that our draft order did not change at all. So like we thought like, oh dang, we need to lose out, but still we won and we're still at the 3rd draft pick. So it's still Jacksonville, Detroit, us, and the Jets. But yeah, Mills looked amazing, and it seems to get a lot of national media attention from Ian Rappaport, Greg Rosenthal, Lance Zierlein, Brett Coleman, analysts who are pretty critical on the Texans for the most part, but he's getting a lot of praise. And Davis Mills, they had some stats said on the broadcast today. He's had the most 300-yard games among rookies, tied for first in pass touchdowns in a game among rookies, and second in pass yards in the game. And they also mentioned that in the first half, Davis Mills has the highest completion percentage among all quarterbacks in the NFL. So that's a great stat right there. And Davis Mills, he's really showing that we don't need to draft a quarterback for this upcoming draft. So, and he definitely deserves to start for 2022. So what are y'all's thoughts on Mills and the rest of the game?
Yeah, first of all, let's talk a little bit about Davis Mills. He was very poised out there. You could tell that the flow of the game came easy to him. He was always calm. Had a couple of plays where he had some defenders in his face, especially on 3rd down. The Chargers seemed to send a little bit more pressure there. But the Texans were efficient on 3rd down. They were 9 out of 13. They did well. They were also able to run the ball, which they haven't been able to do all year. They had 189 rushing yards. As you saw, Rex Burkhead had a big day. He had 22 carries for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Royce Freeman had a couple plays where he looked really powerful, very slippery. He even had 1 touchdown that was called back because of a penalty, but he looked good. The running game looked good as a whole, and this was a game that really makes you think, oh, can the Texans be something? Would it actually take the Texans that long to be good in the future? I feel like this game was a game that David Culley needed. He was getting a little heat from the media. He definitely heard whispers of him being fired. Tim Kelly also feeling a lot of the heat, people calling for him to be fired. Well, these two both put together a great game. And, of course, the defense, as always, played good. Key players such as Jacob Martin were still there, but no one really else. And then you had Justin Reed, who also had a big game, led the team in tackles. And then Tavierre Thomas topped it off with an interception, who's been one of the highest-rated slot corners in the entire NFL. He's been fantastic this season. So I just think it was a really good game, really exciting, kind of cool to, hinder the Chargers' playoff chances in a bit. Davis Mills looked good. And, of course, Brevin Jordan had 3 catches for 30, or Nico Collins had 3 catches for 33 yards and a touchdown. Brevin Jordan having 4 receptions for 56 yards, broke a couple of tackles. It was a great game. Really shows you that Nick Caserio hit on all of his picks. I'm really excited for the future.
Yeah, this was pretty easily Davis Mills' best game of the season. I know a lot of people think that maybe the Patriots was his best, but for me, this was his best. As you were saying, he was very calm, cool, collected, able to stand in the pocket, able to make some throws, able to get hit and still complete some throws. And it seems like he's found a very reliable target on 3rd downs in Brevin Jordan. I know he hit him on, I think, 3 times on 3rd down, first downs, and one was like the 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. Where there was a flag on the play, but the play still stood. But yeah, Brevin Jordan, he's finding his way into the offense. He's starting to become a reliable target. I believe he had 4 receptions, 56 yards, 4 yards per reception, and he's just getting more comfortable in this offense. And let's not forget that he was the number 1 tight end coming out of high school in 2018. I think he was higher than Kyle Pitts, higher than guys like Pat Freiermuth. I'm not really sure how to pronounce the name, but the tight end from Pittsburgh. And he's just been very underrated throughout the season. I know he wasn't active for like the first 6-7 games, something like that, but he's slowly finding his way into this offense. And then Nico Collins as well. What do you have? 3 receptions, 33 yards, and then 1 touchdown. And that 1 touchdown was kind of like the killer. Like, it killed off the game. Like, that was it. And just the all-around team win. Special teams is good. Defense was, of course, phenomenal. Not phenomenal, but they did their job. Offense, perfect, on track. 41 points. And, yeah, just all-around good game by the whole team.
Yeah, at first I was kind of concerned on how he'd play given that Cooks was out and that was his main guy. But he really distributed the ball. Like you said, Brevin Jordan, 56 yards. Chris Conley, 3 catches for 60 yards and a touchdown, which was a long one for 41 yards. So, I mean, that was incredible. And then Dorsett really stood out there, making incredible catches where he had to turn around. And Davis Mills placed the ball in the right spot for only Dorsett to catch that ball, and that was really remarkable. And he could have had a touchdown if not for that missed pass interference on Chris Harris Jr. So I think that was amazing. So Nico Collins also got some love, obviously 3 catches, 33 yards. So Davis Mills has been able to accurately read the field, make the right throw, and like we said, 21 of 27 as a stat for Davis Mills today. That's absolutely amazing. And if you go back to the other games, he's been really consistent. I think that's Davis Mills' thing, is his consistency. And honestly, if Davis Mills just becomes this above average, kind of consistent guy, he's not going to make the craziest throws, but if he can keep this kind of production up in the future, the upcoming games and whatnot, I mean, that we can win with this. Davis Mills can be our franchise quarterback if this keeps going on. And let's talk about and also he played with great anticipation too, with that one pass to Chris Moore where he was running, and Davis Mills had to hit him in stride in order for him to get that first down. But let's talk about our rushing game, which honestly had its best game of the season too. Rex Burkhead had a career day, 22 carries, 149 yards, 6.8 yards per reception, and 2 touchdowns for Rex Burkhead along of 36 yards. And Royce Freeman, who we signed recently, 12 carries for 34 yards. Tremont Smith also had a carry for 7 yards. So Rex Burkhead, for him to do that after having a torn ACL last season and having a career game today, and I know y'all would say the Chargers had a lot of starters on defense out. I mean, who cares? Because a lot of guys on our offense was out too, and on offensive line, our whole offensive line was gone. So, and speaking of our offensive line, they only allowed 1 sack on Davis Mills. So they did a great job for that. So Rex Burkhead definitely deserves his flowers this game. So it's really great to see, even though our running game was still pretty vanilla, they still tried to incorporate a lot of new plays like jet sweeps with Chris Moore. I really hope they involve Chris Moore on the offense, because he's a speed guy. And so if he gets those chances, more and more chances, he might be a real good part of this offense. But what do y'all think of the rushing game too?
Yeah, I think it was really impressive. Like you said, the Chargers were depleted. They also have the 29th to 28th worst rushing defense in the entire NFL. And the Texans have the worst rushing offense in the entire NFL. So it's really good progress, and you got to give a lot of props to the coaching staff to get the offensive line ready. This is a team that's been struggling to do that. So if you can just keep growing off of that. Saw a couple new concepts from Tim Kelly today. A little bit under center, running strong I formation with a little more counter action than it was just straight up the middle, and then a little more outside zone too. So once you figure out what you want to do and figure out what you guys do better at, that will contribute to a better running game. And just straight up, you got to keep giving it a try after being so successful. Rex Burkhead, I could definitely see him being here next season on a 1-year contract. Royce Freeman, I could see him being here next year. And of course, I would love to see the Texans add another young running back to that room. And I think with that being the emphasis at the beginning of the season, I'm really happy just to see it work in general. I'm excited to see what else the run game can bring to this team.
Yeah, the rushing attack today, they did their job. They showed out a bunch of different looks, from shotgun, running the ball, I formation, pistol, all of that. They did tons of different formations, and they all for the most part worked. Burkhead had 6.8 yards per carry, and I believe that's the most any other running backs have had this season that have at least had like maybe 10 or more carries, something like that. But yeah, as you are saying, Burkhead very good today, especially coming off of ACL last year, and just his work ethic. Like he's been working all season. He came in during training camp. Nobody really thought nothing of like, oh, it's another Patriots guy. Oh, we don't really need him. Oh, blah 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 blah. And then today he came into the game and he had as you were saying, a career performance. And the Royce Sherman, yeah, I also believe we should bring him back next year. He had that one was like a 30-something yard, 20 something, I think 29, 30-yard run for a touchdown today that we got called back. So we didn't get to see that. But he showed some flashes today. Some cuts, made some guys miss, able to run over guys, and he had that one tackle or that one run. It was like running sideways, kind of like for like 4 or 5 yards, something like that. He was running sideways, and he was able to pick up the first down and still able to run over somebody running sideways. So yeah, the rushing attack today, as I was saying, did their job, and it's something to build off of. If we can continue running this ball next week and then the final week of the season, it's gonna be a big, I guess, key about this team going to next season, or a big emphasis, I don't know where it is, but it's gonna be a big part of this football team moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Burke had a great game, but the games before that wasn't as good, and honestly, like it's just really hard to say. But I think running back is still going to be a need for us for sure, and just like it goes along with the theory of just getting Mills more weapons and trying to build around Mills. And if Mills doesn't end up panning out for whatever reason, hey, we still have those guys for whatever quarterback that's back there. Like the quarterback needs a good situation to thrive. It's not just going to be just for Davis Mills. So, I mean, with that in mind, I feel like we shouldn't draft quarterback in the upcoming draft. And also talking about the defense, I think the defense really stepped up, and Lovie Smith definitely needs credit and some respect for how he was able to contain Justin Herbert today. He had 2 interceptions, and then like some of those yards are kind of garbage time yards from that one touchdown, I believe. So, I mean, he really contained Herbert, and he's been doing a really good job with that. And Jonathan Owens had a career game with fumble recovery and interception, and Davis Mills had a 95-yard drive off of that, and then Tavier Thomas had a pick 6 from that too. So that was incredible. And so like a lot of people stepped up, and Chris Smith also had a sack, so a 0.5 sack today, so back-to-back sacks in 2 games that he's played. So he could be like a dark like a diamond in the rough, and maybe in Ross Blacklock he had a pass defense from Herbert. So it's been really good for us so far on defense. Do y'all have anything to add to that?
Yeah, just really excited for the future. I think Nick Casario has done a fantastic job, and we'll see what he does with the rest of the coaching staff. I feel like some changes still need to be made, but just keep developing players. I think this team will be just fine.
Yeah, Nick Casario, he did a good job this week actually, signing some guys that could come in here like within a week, come in here and just contribute, and they were a big reason why we won this game. We have some guys on the defensive line that didn't even have a job this past week, and they came in and helped contribute and helped us win this football game. And that's gonna be a big thing about Nick Casario. If he's able to evaluate talent like that, get some guys that got some short weeks, and going into the offseason, if you can get some guys in free agency that are like overlooked guys, not big names, but can still come in here and contribute, that's gonna be huge. And Nick Casario showed he can do that all last offseason by getting guys like Malik Collins. I guess Desmond King in a way, he's kind of a big name, but teams just overlooked him. Guys like Campbell Gruger Hill, and then as I said, guys this week. If he can continue doing that, he's gonna be a phenomenal GM for us.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much it for the video, but I think there's a lot to be excited for in the future with Davis Mills and the amount of draft picks that we might have with possible trades of who and whatnot. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Let us know your thoughts on today's game, and as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.